to do this in a few steps, let's pull out a drum beat from a song. So this is a song called Use Me by Bill Withers. Super funky track. The drums from this song were taken and used by Kendrick Lamar in Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. And it's interesting because it's only a 2-beat break. So it happens around 1 minute. Okay, so right when he starts,
oh, you just keep on using me.
3, 1, 2, and that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head over. This is the kick drum that I want to get to, that establishes the downbeat of that 2 beats. So I'm going to use tab to transients. Remember, tab to transients is engaged. Hit tab, command E. I'm going to count 2 beats. 1, 2, boom. Remember that your counts need to finish. So you're not going to cut at 2. You're going to cut essentially right before 3. 1, 2. So 3 would be right here. So I'm going to go right before it, tab, and cut. Okay. So now I have my 2-beat loop. That is the drum beat. Now, what am I going to do with it? So we want to always really remember that we want to highlight with our grabber tool so that we have only the clip from beginning to end. We don't have any extra stuff. Sounds good. I'm going to come over to the clip list here. And if you don't see the clip list, it could be because this arrow has hidden it. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it Bill Drums 4. I think I've done this a couple times. So that's really useful when you're doing this, is to double click on the clip so you can rename your clips. And then come to this triangle here, go export clips as files. You want it to be waved, interleaved, 2444. I'm going to choose a folder. I want it to be somewhere that I can go find it. All right. And I've already created one. If you don't have one, you can hit here, new folder, samples, and I'm just going to choose my samples folder, open it, and hit export. Okay, so I see samples down here. Done. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to go ahead and make a stereo instrument track on which I will plug in Kontakt Stereo. I'm going to call this track Drums. Who cares? I don't know what's going on here. And again, I'm looking on my desktop, or looking for the desktop. I can open that up with the plus sign. I'm looking for the session name and the folder that I want to find my samples in. And here's Bill Drums 4. I'm going to drag that over here. So that is 2 beats long. On C3, if I draw in a note, let's see, drums 4. If I draw in a note on C3, or I should say 2 beats, which would be right there, will it play the whole thing? And most likely, it will not. All right, so it is looping before the end of the sample. Now, what we could do is we could sit here and kind of change the tempo and say, okay, is it 83? Not quite. Is it 80? Not quite. But we don't need to do that because we can tell the sample to match our tempo, our session tempo. So we're going to click on the wrench, hit the wave editor, hit sync and slice, and hit Time Machine Pro. Now, this is going to cause a problem. Okay, it is playing at halftime because the sample is only 2 beats long. So there's a few ways we could probably fake out, or figure it out or hack it. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and click on grid. And instead of 4/4, because it's sensing the tempo, assuming that the sample was a whole one measure loop, this is double time. So it's probably 77. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to be 2. So instead of 4/4, it's 2/4. And there I got it. So that is that drum beat at 80. I can do it at 90. I can do it at 75. All right. Now, if I wanted it to play higher in pitch and still have that same tempo, I can just raise it. All right. So that is kind of, finding and editing a small little sample. Call it that.